What time is it? I don't know what time it is. Hold on. All right, 3:33 in the morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm gonna go to sleep. I can't tell if you can see me or not. There you go. I'm gonna go to sleep because it's 3:30 in the morning. I'm outside of a Sullivan Tire in I think like Nashua, New Hampshire, about 50 miles, 60 miles south of my house. We're recording? Yeah. Okay. Do you guys remember my video last week where it was Friday at like 2 a.m. and I was outside of a mall charging my Hyundai EV? Well, I had another flight a few days later. Well, I flew a few days later to DC. It was an overnighter. That went okay. And then 2 days after that, on Monday, I had a flight out of Boston to Detroit. And I decided not to take the Hyundai that time because it's a pain in the butt. So I took the Golf R. It's like my last drive in the Golf R before I store it. And man, what a shit. Like, I don't know. I think like I'm cursed on travel right now. It took, getting out of Boston was fine, but leaving Newark was like push back, until instead of getting into Detroit at like 10 p.m., I got into Detroit. We actually landed at 11:45. We were the last flight in. And then we taxi up to the gate, and we couldn't park it because the catering truck was stuck there. It had a flat tire. And so we sat on the plane until like 12:15. And then there was no crew to actually, wave us in. So I didn't get to baggage claim until 1 a.m. on Tuesday morning. And then baggage claim took a while. Basically, everyone had gone home, so they had to start everything back up in order to disembark us. And then, of course, there's no more taxis at the airport because it's 2 a.m. So it took me forever to get a cab. So I got to the hotel at 3:30 in the morning on Tuesday morning, and my first meeting was at 7. Detroit was great, just fine. Getting home, same problem. Got to the airport, plenty of time. Actually, no, sorry. It's still in training in Detroit. And I got a notification that my flight that was supposed to leave at like 6:30 got pushed back to midnight. And then I got a notification saying, well, you got to pick a different flight. Yours is canceled. So I did that. And then it all stemmed from a couple issues. There's again, fucking rain. There's another storm system that was hanging over the Northeast again. Just basically like back-to-back weeks of the same Thursday storm. And so high winds and rain and snow. There's an inch of snow in Chicago tonight. Was keeping planes from taking off and landing. The whole corridor was shut down. So I got a different flight leaving at 8 o'clock from Detroit to Newark. That got canceled. So then I got a flight over to ORD, or Chicago, which was like a 40-minute flight. Going the opposite direction, but Chicago is a big hub, so hop on a flight there. That flight gets delayed from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. So we finally leave Chicago at 11 p.m. Head to Boston. Thank God, not Newark. To be honest, I actually even went to the person at the Chicago airport and I asked him, given my status and given that this has been a really long day and given the fact that I'm going to get home to Boston super late anyway and have to drive 3 hours home, could you find it in your heart to get me a hotel for the night? And she says, once your flight's canceled, we can do it. We can't do it till it's canceled. I'm like, I understand. Just thought I'd ask. No big deal. But anyway, tried to get a hotel because I wanted to stay in Chicago for a night and actually do like a noon flight out tomorrow from Chicago and like do some morning stuff in the city. But, oh well, didn't work out. So I touched down in Boston. We're the last flight to get into Boston at like 1:45 a.m. And baggage came off good. The bus was still running to economy parking. Get to economy parking. Everything goes out without a hitch. I'm leaving economy parking. The car is making a weird noise, but it turns out that's not an issue at all. It was just some weird like leaf thing stuck on the rim. But I got outside of Massachusetts, across the border, and my tire pressure monitor light goes off. Now, what's interesting about the Michelin P4S's, Pilot Sport 4S tires, they're incredibly rigid. It's a super hard sidewall. So I remember once, this was like 2 months ago actually, the right rear had a flat. I mean, I had not driven this thing like a month. The right rear was completely flat. And I was just driving down to the trail to go for a run. And when I got down there, the light came on. And I pushed the sidewall, and I'm like, that's kind of squishy. So I drove back home, because I didn't have my my physical gauge on me. The thing read 0. It was a little squishy, but when I was driving and doing this, no problem. These are incredibly hard sidewall tires. They are shit in the rain. They're obviously summer tires, and so they're just incredibly hard. So anyway, I got the light, I pulled off the road, gave it the squish test, feels okay. But I pulled off at the next exit like 3 miles later to get some air in the tires. And when I put the air in the tires, I'll put a clip here. There's just a whole screw sticking out of it, and there's just like little bits of bubbles. So luckily, you guys have it so lucky in cities. Where I live, it's usually cost me money to get my roadside assistance to tow me to a service station, because it's like 15 miles to the service station from my house. Here, I actually defaulted by opening the State Farm app and started to call a tow truck. And then when they showed me the nearby tire, there's like 7 tire places within a 5-mile radius. I was like, whoa. So I topped it off with air and then drove over to Sullivan Tire here in Nashua, New Hampshire. No, not Nashua. Methuen, I think it is. I don't know where we are. But anyway, it's 3:45 in the morning. Friday morning. I have meetings at 8 a.m., which I was going to go to. I'm really, I'm one of those kind of people that can run on very little sleep 1 day a week. I get my 8 hours every night, but 1 day a week if I have to, like I get a late flight. A lot of my coworkers are like, why'd you even come in? But I'm fine. I mean, I'll crash Friday afternoon, but I'm fine to get those meetings done with. So, I already moved my meetings, and oddly enough, one of the people already accepted the meeting invite, even though it's super late, so go to bed. But they open at 7. Unfortunately, with the tire I'm running, now there's 3,000 miles in these tires. This being all-wheel drive, I may have to do both rear tires. The tire rack tire protection guarantee is only going to cover one of them, which kind of sucks. But yeah, so there's 3,000 miles in these tires, and 3,000 hard miles because they're all like drag strip miles. And because it's a 235, 45, 18 plus a P4S, they're going to have to get like a tire truck to come out here and actually like deliver it, which will probably be like a noon or 2 p.m. delivery. So it's going to be a long day tomorrow. At least it wasn't a blowout, right? I got here safely, wasn't on the side of the road waiting for a tow truck at 3 o'clock in the morning. I think my dad, real quick before I hang up on you guys, my dad for years hated traveling because he said he had the worst airline travel luck. And I traveled with him. We took 3 big trips together once I was of age, like 18, 19, 20. And my God, he has the worst travel luck. I have never been delayed, canceled, bumped, screwed over, bags lost, bags redirected, hotel reservations that don't take, more than I have traveling with him. And I did all the bookings, but like he's a bad omen for travel. Things pretty much always go my way. Like the hotel voucher thing, usually no problem. They just say, yeah, sure, we understand. Or, the bag always comes out first, or the bus is always there waiting for me, or, I get little room upgrades or seat upgrades. I've taken 4 trips in the past 4 weeks, and the last two of the 4 trips have just been bullshit. So, yeah, I'm tired. I've been up since 7 a.m. and it's almost going to be 4 soon. So 3:45. So I'm going to stop talking to you guys. Oops, sorry about that. We've lost our... There you go. I'm gonna stop talking to you guys and go to sleep. Hey, happy November. It's November 1st. And it's so weird. I'll have to put a picture here. When I left Chicago, there was like over an inch of snow on the ground. It was 30 degrees outside. And now that we are here, it is like 65 degrees in Massachusetts. Crazy, crazy, crazy weather in the Lakes region and or the Great Lakes region. So live and tired. Don't let me down, guys. Don't you let me down. Good night, everyone. Sleep well. It's cold. It's almost 7 a.m. So let's go inside. Finally. Wow. These guys had one. These guys had one in stock. Is that really the right? It's got to be the right size. They're not idiots. Hold on. $225, $40, $18. I think. Yeah, we should be good. Yeah, $225, $40, $18. They had one in stock. Oh, and the deal is, they said that basically, there's like 4 Golf Rs and a couple of GTIs in town that are always getting nails in their tires. So these guys just keep, they just keep one P4S in stock, knowing that one of those guys is going to come in at least once a month. So, of all the places I could have gone to, Sullivan Tire in Salem, New Hampshire really saved my ass. And they actually charged me the same price a Tire Rack charged me just for the tire to do mounting and balancing as well. So, so they charge you $199 for the tire versus $220, which is what Tire Rack charged me for the tire. And the good news is I can send this in the Tire Rack and get reimbursed. All right, I'm effing tired. Let's go home. Let's go home.